welcome! My name is Amy Dallen, and if you are just joining us here because you followed me from the Geek and Sundry Vlogs channel, you already know that. But welcome to my home turf! This is where, at least for the time being, I'm just gonna keep on doing what I was doing before. Every 2 weeks there'll be a new vlog up here with some kind of comic booky content, and it's been 2 weeks since we talked about comic book deaths in the final official Geek and Sundry vlog, so here we are. But there is a ton of stuff to talk about before I get to the comic booky goodness, so please forgive me in advance and stick with me for the news. As you will have noticed, 2 weeks ago was the final week of the Geek and Sundry vlogs as we knew them. If you are here, that means you followed me to my channel, and I appreciate that very much, but I also hope that you have gone to find the other vlogger alumni on their various channels, for those who are going to keep doing their awesome videos, and subscribe to them as well. And in this time of change, there is some really exciting new stuff coming. This very week is also the official launch of Geek and Sundry's channel on Twitch. Now, Twitch is a live streaming site primarily used for video gaming content. So streamers will play a game and people in the chat can interact with them and you get to watch them sort of responding to what's going on, and it's really terrifically fun. But Twitch has been expanding the offerings of the kind of content that they have, and we get to be part of that grand experiment. So as part of Geek and Sundry's programming lineup, they're going to have a live RPG show and some board gaming and plenty of video gaming, and every Tuesday night at 7 Pacific time, a comic book show, live, with me and two wonderful co-hosts, Hector Navarro and Whitney Moore. It's called The Pull. It will run from 7 to 9, maybe a little longer if we're all having a really good time. I believe that pieces of or all of it are likely to be archived. I don't quite know yet what exactly is going to happen with that, but there ought to be some highlights that you can check out if that does not work for you time-wise. And if it does work for you time-wise, I would really, really love to see all of you who've been watching my stuff show up and interact in the chat so that I will know I'm among friends. One incredibly cool feature of that show, in addition to talking about our picks for new books coming out and things that got us into comics and helping introduce people to the world of comics, which, as you know, I quite enjoy doing, is going to be the live interviews with real-life comic book professionals who will come into the studio with us. And hopefully eventually some that we Skype to, since we probably can't corral everybody into LA. But check on Twitter and Facebook, and I'll try to always announce the guests so that you can try to prep some questions, because of course we'll be taking questions from the chat. And I feel like I'm shouting at you guys. I'm just so excited. So that's it, 7 to 9 on Tuesdays, The Pull. You can find that show and the rest of the Geek and Sundry programming at twitch.tv/geekandsundry. And the whole thing was launched last week with a 48-hour charity live stream, which was just crazy, insanely fun, and raised $160,000 for the Lupus Foundation of America, which was really incredible to get to be a part of. And thank you all so much to those of you who came and supported during the live stream. Now, postscript to news, because it's not really news, but I love milestones. And as of yesterday on Twitter, I hit 10,000 followers. It's an insane honor. Thank you all so much, those of you who talk to me over there or who check in for news. And it reminded me to take a look at the subscriber count on this channel, which made me realize I'm not that far off from 10,000 here. So my big question for you guys today is, if I make it there, what should I do? Please post your ideas for a potential 10K celebration in the comments, and I appreciate it very, very much. I am an insanely lucky human. And now, a quick pick to close things out, because it has been 2 weeks since I told all of you to read a comic book. I spend a lot of time talking about classics and things you might have missed and things that I'm just discovering that are older or that form staple entries into the comic book canon. But sometimes it's fun to just jump in at the very beginning of something. So with that in mind, anyone who would like to join me on this journey should run out and grab a copy of Descender #1. This comic came out last week from Image Comics. It is by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Both of them have fantastic repertoires of comics under their belt, so you kind of know you're in good hands from the start. This wasn't really a random pick. Jeff Lemire is the author, of course, of Essex County and Sweet Tooth, which was the first thing I read that I fell in love with, as well as just dozens of books for DC and now Valiant in the years since his career went exploding into the comic book stratosphere. Dustin Nguyen you may know as the artist of the adorable and much missed Batman Low Gotham, although I particularly loved his run on the Stephanie Brown Batgirl book from just before the New 52. Now, Descender is a sci-fi book with some overtones of Battlestar Galactica about it, in that it starts out with a sort of mysterious catastrophic attack that sets off kind of a robot-human conflict, and there's this sort of washed-up scientist involved, although apparently not quite as complicit in things. But it doesn't feel anything like a ripoff. I'm just saying that to whet your appetite for the sci-fi hijinks, which center on this mysterious little boy robot who wakes up 10 years after the attacks, and it looks like is going to find out, maybe the hard way, everything that's gone down in the intervening time. But we're already getting hints of a well-developed sort of cosmology with a network of allied planets with different personalities and some pre-existing conflicts that will all be changed in various ways, so we have a large-scale drama going on behind the small personal one. And the little boy robot has a puppy dog robot to go with him, as if this book could get any cuter. Puppy dog robot. But here's an example of just how gorgeous this artwork is. Spoiler! You get an amazing variety of tone and landscape out of just this one issue. And of course, the buzz on this book has been so good that it snapped up a pre-release optioning deal. So we might all be thrilling to the big screen or televised version of Descender in a couple of years. But whatever, you can say you read it first, because you were paying attention to your awesome comic books. So that's it, my ground floor pick. The haunting, while adorable, sophisticated yet stark world of Descender. I would love it if any of those of you who go out and check this out come check back in with me as the series goes along, and we'll see how it unfolds together. So that's it for today. Kind of overstuffed for one vlog, but there's so much going on. Thank you all so very much for supporting me and watching these videos. If you enjoyed this, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, share with everyone you know, I don't know, do whatever you'd like. But most importantly, before I see you next time, read yourself some comics.